My father has a saying that says, don't let them change your last name for a nickname. So
Yeah.
Ooh,
don't let anyone call you, Sarah the whatever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Create Your Life series, where we help you maximize your potential and results in the area of personal development, entrepreneurship, and travel. And I'm your host, Kevin Y. Brown.
Create your life.
Crée ta propre vie.
Create your life.
创造你的生活。
Create your life.
Crea la tua vita.
Create your life.
Und skip your liver.
You better create your life.
Create your life.
Create la vie.
Create your life.
Create your life.
Beautiful people, happy Sunday. This is the Create Your Life series. I'm your host, Kevin Y. Brown, and it is one of those great Sundays. It's gorgeous outside. I'm hoping that your summer's going well and that you're enjoying this day. Harlem Week is going on right now, so it's definitely a lot going on 135th Street from 6th to 8th Avenues. I was out there yesterday, got some good food, saw some good vendors, and, made a couple purchases. Summertime is easily the best time of the year, especially being a California native. I love summertime and warm weather. There's millions of activities, and also you can dress with less clothes. So, have the opportunity to wear those tank tops. And this is where the gym, time in the gym really pays off. So, you could basically do no wrong in the summer. But I guess today I would have to talk about the fact that what if you do wrong? It's important to note that whenever you mess up, everything's going to be all right, and that it's actually okay. Prime example, like for me lately, I've been working, very hard. As you know, I've done the 30-day goals challenge that we just completed, making new contacts, going to trainings, investing in new and innovative ideas for the Create Your Life series. And on that road, sometimes I can get carried away and drop the ball with a responsibility or two. And being so organized and motivated and responsible, that one mess up can sometimes feel like it's very, very monumental. And a very monumental mistake at that. And it would be easy to beat myself up and dwell on it and let it sour my mood and dampen my vibes. This week, I actually was supposed to be on TV on Tuesday. And I missed that opportunity due to a miscalculation on my part. I didn't put it on my calendar, and my assistant missed it as well. And so for me, that was a major blow because I would call that a rookie mistake. But at the same time, I think that it's very important to note that, it's one of those things, man. You're going to make mistakes and things are going to happen. And so you just have to, you have to pick it up. My journey has taught me that I'm not perfect, and entrepreneurship and the pursuit of your dreams comes with a lot of mess ups and slip ups, but you can't internalize them. And, even when things are picking up the pace, they're going well, there's going to be a mess up around the corner. It just happens. So you got to expect it, accept it, but most importantly, move on. So, keep your head high and let those slip-ups motivate and mold you to avoid them and learn from them in the future. So, if you know better, then do better and keep moving better. So without further ado, when we're talking about if you know better, getting that knowledge from somebody and being able to do better and improve upon things, I want to bring in today's guests. We have the beautiful Perez sisters who are going to be giving us a lot of insight about their business. So, ladies, please say hello to the Create Your Life series family.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How's everyone doing over there?
Create Your Life series. How are you guys feeling? I'm so happy to have you all here. Please introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name is Hilda Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, and I'm Sarah Jarrett. Thank you for having us here. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, no, my absolute pleasure. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Hilda, we met, what, was it a month ago, 2 months ago?
It was about a month ago.
About a month ago. And
quickly.
you moved super quickly. And you were actually doing a photo shoot for you guys' business.
Yes.
Please tell us about Salud and what it is that Salud embodies.
Yeah, so Salud is a natural health and wellness company. We basically focus on creating proprietary blends of vitamins and different supplements. We have a beauty line, and the beauty line was what you saw us doing, and I had a bunch of models stuffed in your office, which, can't be mad at that. So it was a lot of fun. I don't know if you want to add on to that at all.
Yeah, we just create not only nutritional supplements, but more health and wellness solutions, ensuring that the community is able to benefit from nature and benefit from the information that we can provide, including things like home remedies, all natural solutions, things you can do at home. So if you don't have insurance or you don't have the ability to go see a doctor, you can take care of whatever problem you're, depending on the degree of the problem, right? You can take care of it at home. Yeah. So
Okay.
That's what we do.
Awesome. So Salud was founded by your father.
Yes.
Correct.
So tell us about your father a little bit and about his vision for Salud.
So my father, I guess when you ask me that, the first thing that comes to mind is someone who is a dreamer,
Yeah.
someone who does not quit, who is relentless in the pursuit of his dreams, and his goal was actually to be able to bring health for everyone. So that's what the name of the company is, Salud para Todos, which means health for all. So we came to this country. He was a doctor in the Dominican Republic. When he came here, he learned about natural medicine and Chinese medicine and fell in love with everything that was natural medicine, became a naturopath, a nutritionist, and we first actually had a Whole Food store. So we used to run the register there, and we used to carry all types of products. So like things that are now cool, like spirulina
We had them
and
before it was cool.
moringa and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
We were dealing with that stuff way back when. So
Okay. I put spirulina in my shakes every single day.
yeah, so that's how we started, and then he wanted to create products that can benefit the human body in a more effective way by putting together plants and herbs. He found a laboratory. They were able to curate the products for him, and 25 years later, we have 40 plus proprietary products.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 40 plus products. That's a lot of products.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask is how is it growing up? Because Hilda and Sarah, you both told me a couple of creative stories about your dad. So how is it growing up in a family where you have unique parents, who are very knowledgeable? Give us some of those stories about growing up here.
He's eccentric for sure. And
He always came with a disclaimer, I guess, whenever we would bring people over. It was like, so my dad is a little different,
Yeah.
he
will try to feed you this, just
Yeah.
politely take it or not. Like, we'll see.
especially depending on whatever new product he was trying.
We were the
his
guinea pigs. Oh my God.
So it was like, you got to try this.
first-
Let me see. And we're
My
like,
mom
okay.
especially was the one even before us because we
Yeah.
were too young.
Trying everything
Trying things
and
out.
So-
just a creative soul.
So your mom has a very strong stomach is what you're telling me.
Very.
Yeah,
very strong.
she and
she's a
a lot
brave
of
woman.
patience or just like knows how to keep her husband happy by doing it.
You just said something I thought was very important. You said patience.
Yes, she has
It
a lot of
takes
patience. with
Yeah,
it.
patience for creatives, right? You have to be with someone who's patient in order to do.
Absolutely.
So you guys grow up. You're New York natives from the Yonkers. I mean, not the Yonkers, from Yonkers.
From
Yep.
Yonkers, yeah.
Right. You guys grow up out in Yonkers and you go into the family business. Oftentimes you hear people saying, you know what, I don't want to be in the family business. What is it about your dad and what it is that he's been doing for the last 25 years, I guess, and tie in a little bit of how you guys grew up that make you want to be a part of the family business, actually CEO and COO to be exact.
Preserving the legacy, really. That's what it's about for me. He's put in so much work into this company, this brand, that it would be a shame for it to just disappear when he does. And not only that, but every single day we get to see the impact that we have on the community. We see it in our everyday lives. Like you said, growing up with someone who was giving you like an out-of-the-box idea on how to treat something. If someone has a nosebleed, which my son is now having nosebleeds, I'm always like tying a rubber band around his hand, which will stop a nosebleed immediately.
Hold on, what part of the hand do you have to tie
Right
that?
here in the palm, depending on which nostril is bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay, so if my left nostril is bleeding, I need to put a rubber band on the left
On your
hand?
left palm.
And it'll
Okay.
stop
So-
circulation.
Lesson
or-
learned. It'll stop circulation.
You just have to tie it as tight as possible. Correct.
Okay.
So things like that, and he taught us a different way to view life, a different way to take advantage of what nature provides. And every single day, we're able to not only rejoice in that, but we get to see how other people really benefit from that.
Yeah.
Our customers are, when they come in to see him, it's like, oh my goodness, I couldn't walk before this, and now, and
He
not
has
because
groupies.
not because they were
Health groupies.
paralyzed or anything, but
Fan
like
club,
the
fan
pain,
club, your mom.
the pain was, so debilitating, and I changed my eating habits. I started exercising more. I started taking certain supplements, and now I feel so much better. You see things like that, and you really see the difference that you're making. We just had a health fair where every time we have this health fair, we find someone who has a blood glucose reading that's, astronomical, and we have to send them to the emergency room immediately. Things like that where you're really, you're really impacting someone's life because that person didn't even know, they're walking around on a Sunday just strolling the streets, not realizing that they're a time bomb.
And it all started really with him and his passion of doing that. As you said, it's kind of like preserving the legacy. And for me, I kind of black sheep my way away, and I started my other business, and I kind of wanted to step away from the family business, but it's one of those things that always clawed back, and I really wanted to see by myself in other ways, but now everything that I've learned is back in the family business because it's how we were fed. It's how, I remember my summer job was like working the register, which we'll talk about the legality later, but we don't know.
I feel like I've
young,
been working my
just
entire
doing
life.
that.
Every time when we would get out of school, even though we were raised in Yonkers, really, I can say I'm from Queens. I can say I'm from Uptown because we had stores in both places. And as soon as Mom would pick us up, we would go straight to the
We're
store
stocking
to
shelves
work.
in the back.
Yeah. So
Wow. And this is like after school daily.
after school every single
when
day.
I didn't have basketball practice.
Okay. Hilda, I didn't know you were a hooper. Okay.
Yeah, not me. I was athletically challenged.
Oh. Well, it happens to the best.
That's true.
Don't be second in that, Hilda.
No, it's true.
It's true. She
it's
knows I
really
get that.
bad.
I have that. But see, I learned like 10 different ways to wrap an ankle without having to go to the emergency room ever because I used to always twist my ankle.
And massaging is
That's really
key
good.
if you twist your ankle.
Okay.
You must massage it out.
See, y'all know all of these random. What's the
It's super
randomest
random.
thing that you've seen, like you've come home and your dad your dad has told you to do, and you were like, "This is crazy," but it actually worked.
Well, I have a funny
Big
story
one,
with
yeah.
my husband. So if you have sinus problems, and this is not only, so a lot of the things are also part of our culture, right?
Okay.
So we're Dominican. And if you take like the plantain
Peel.
Okay.
and you put things like Vicks on it, camphor on it. There's a few other things that go into this remedy, but you put that on your forehead and you lie with it. Well, it's extremely hot. Hot, obviously not to burn you, but hot. And it will loosen everything and it would clear everything. So whenever I say anything like that, my husband's like, "You guys think you can treat everything with a plantain?" And it's like, because we can. Like, plantain's amazing, and we can. So.
Where'd
And
your
he did
husband
it and
from,
it
if
worked.
your body mat?
The Bahamas.
Okay.
Bohemian. So even then, it's like you'd think because he's Caribbean, you'd kind of understand it. No, not at all. But he did it and it worked. And that was a really funny call when she called me afterwards. She's like, "I got him putting plantain peel on his head." I'm like,
Nice.
that's
Did you
love.
get a picture? You got to get a picture
No,
of that.
absolutely not. No.
Okay, so
Ingrained in the
one
mind.
other story that you got to retell is when you came home and your dad had foil on his foot? Or
Yeah, that actually happened. This is when I first met you. Apparently, I have no boundaries to tell you what's happening.
That's how we knew it was
He's
just,
like, no,
it
it's
was
gonna
meant to
work.
be for you to be here.
It was just funny stories every day, but he had like hurt his foot because he stepped wrong when he
Okay.
like stepped down or something. And I came home and he's sitting on like the lazy boy watching the news, and he has his foot wrapped in tinfoil with a piece of onion on his heel, and this smells strong. It's a very slow way. So I just walk in. I'm like, "What's happening?" He's like, "Oh, I just hurt my foot." And like the next day, he's hopping around. Like everything's like, "Yeah, the pain's gone," because it pulls out the toxins and any kind of
So the toxins go
pains you.
into the onion?
yeah. Because a lot of the toxins in your body can be extracted from the foot. That's why, like TMI audience,
I
sorry,
am
but a lot of sweat
so
and everything's
learning
coming out
so
there.
much right now. I'm
But it
super
worked.
happy.
But I mean, it's like one step away from putting tinfoil on your head because the aliens are calling is what other people would look at it as. But this is to me is just my dad.
So if I put an onion on my head and add tinfoil, will it
You
take a
communicate
headache
to
away?
Mars. No, no.
I don't know.
I can't.
No. But
tell you that one.
one time when we first brought in the sangre de drago, which is sap from a tree in Peru, and it is a coagulant. So we had like gallons of this stuff lying around the house, and my father was just like waiting for someone to cut themselves so we could try it, right? So lo and behold, my sister
guinea
my
pigs.
sister and I are running around the house, and she
Sarah was chasing me. Let's correct that for the record.
yeah, so she being, so athletic, tripped and went headfirst into the bathroom cupboard and sliced her head, like, just completely open.
Well,
It was like an inch wide.
There's a reason.
So my mom took the sangre de drago and just poured it on her head, and it was nasty, right? So we're freaking out. My mom's like, get in the car. We're rushing to the hospital. We get to the hospital. My mom's like, like crying. My daughter cut herself, this and that. The doctor's looking at her. She's like, there's no cut. There's just a scab. What are you talking about?
And what is this stuff called again?
Sangre de drago.
Okay,
Drago's blood. Drago's blood is, I guess, the English.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually a tree sap. It's not anybody's blood. So.
Yeah. It's a tree sap from a specific tree in Peru, and then we use that and we sell it, and it's really great for cuts. And if you get hurt, and although I'm athletic, I get hurt. Yeah, exactly.
I just got 4 stitches like 2 weeks
no,
ago.
So you
that would have
could've-
fixed it.
I don't leave the house without that stuff.
Hilda,
It's
I
like-
thought we were
Yeah.
cool,
Now I know I should have brought some samples, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so collectively as sisters, it's rare that you find family members as close as you guys. You know what I mean? Not rare, but to be on the same path in life. Like, how is it that you both participated in the Scaling Excellence through Innovation Latino Entrepreneurs Leaders Program in 2015? How was that experience?
Oh, the Stanford program.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was an eye-opener in terms of how to manage a team. So we have 15 employees, and it really sort of changed my view specifically on how to do things and to not be so strict and to not have this idea of what business needs to be or what guidelines you need to follow. The program really focused on putting people first and ensuring that those people that you put first are your employees. So it really helped me feel like I had permission to do the things that I was already wanting to do in my heart, but felt like it wouldn't be okay because, you only get certain many days vacation and blah, 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 so it gave me permission to do that. And I think that has significantly helped the company, significantly helped the environment, like the culture of the company. So
Totally.
Okay.
Different kind of level of bringing things. We stepped into the company, especially my sister stepped into the company when it was very old school run, like very mom and pop shop, and kind of bringing it into the 21st tech focus kind of century of people want to be treated a specific way and learning how to do that.
How was that transition for, number one, I guess your parents who were overseeing the company, you two coming in as CEO and COO, and making that transition, to an extent, changing the culture or improving upon the culture that's been, the legacy. So how has that been for the customers and also for your parents?
I mean, there was some pushback. But
yeah.
I mean,
I think that for my father, it was actually much easier than what I expected. He really said, if this is what you guys want to do, take it. And then
he's ready to go
sort
fishing.
of just threw it on us and we had to figure it out.
Right.
I think it was more difficult, I would say, for the vendors that we work with. Anyone else who I had to do business relationships with, because they were so used to having to deal with my father that when I came in, I was viewed as, I guess, a little girl. And it took a lot of asserting my position, a lot of proving that, my opinion was the one that mattered. So I got a lot of support from my father in that whenever so they would be like, yeah, sure, we would do that. And then I'd find out a day later that he would still get a call and then he would just direct it right back at me. So after a while that ceased, but I did have a lot of pushback, being a female. It was just, it was difficult.
And that's the thing, that's something that I want to touch on, is because I feel like, well, I'm not a lady, obviously, but from some of my friends who are CEOs or in the C-suite that are ladies, they talk about the pushback that they may get from being in charge. Can you tell us some of the ways, maybe just 3 things, both of you guys, that you've done to navigate that and to be able to assert yourself?
I would say, having the support from my father was a big part of it, to have kind of like that stamp of, she's the one making the decisions.
Right.
You will not get paid or you will not have that if you don't deal with her first. That was a big part of it.
Also letting the work do the talking for you.
That's a big one.
I think that's important in any aspect in business. Don't waste your time trying to prove to someone that you deserve to be here or that you deserve to have this conversation. You know, just have the conversation. Let your words, let your work be the example, be the explanation to why you're here. And I think, to me, that's all you have to do. People will realize that, okay, this person is serious.
You have to assert yourself to an extent because
Just do your job.
in like any business, there are other vendors you can work with. There are other suppliers you are negotiating. And just being knowledgeable about it, a big part of it was doing a lot of research on my part. Stepping into it, I did not have a degree in business. I had a degree in international relations and political science. And that was so far from the world that I was stepping into. So Google was great. Different kind of resources that we were able to tap into. And asking around, getting mentors that can help me that were also really powerful women or that I really admired. Really
Trusting your gut too. I think
the instinct's a huge one.
That's important, and knowing that it's okay for you to walk away. It doesn't matter how deep you are. You're never deep enough that you can't get out or you can't walk away. If something all of a sudden doesn't feel right or isn't going the way you thought it was going to go, then just step back. This is your business. This is your brand. This is your last name. You know, my father has a saying that says, "Don't let them change your last name for a nickname." So don't let anyone call you, you know, Sarah the whatever.
So
you know, so you gotta just go with your gut.
I see the CEO in you right now. I mean, the way you talk,
right?
and I almost cannot get a job. I'm always ready to do. Nah, I like your leadership. I like the way that you're, you know, the things that you guys just said. I feel like are just jewels. Like definitely that we'll be able to walk away with and be able to assert in our lives. But collectively as sisters, how do you separate business from family and family from business, you know?
Do we do that?
Do we?
Though it is a family
I
business,
guess between
Do a lot
her and
together.
I, do we really do that? I guess
No.
I really like silence. So whenever we're together, we're normally sitting in silence.
That's true. We'll
I
text
don't-
each other when
yeah.
we're sitting in the same couch.
Not even texting. Like I just enjoy
Quiet.
being around a person without there being a lot of talking. I really enjoy that.
Really easy for me to do.
And with our father, he doesn't even let you talk about work stuff when you're not at work.
Yeah.
Like I try and he'll be like,
he's like,
anyway, talk to me about something else. You want to go fishing? I'm
yeah,
like,
go fishing, go get
but we
food.
need to do this. And he's like, it's not Monday or it's not, you know, work hours. I don't care. I don't want to deal with it. So
Wow.
he makes sure that you don't talk
Yeah.
to him about work stuff when it's not work
And we
time.
kind of try to talk, if we both feel like now is not the time, we don't want to talk about it, we respect each other's. But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's always
it's
just been like
it's
an
really
easy...
that. It's really what she just said, because I think that when it's your own business, you're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about the next move, what you can improve on. So she'll be thinking about, you know, what she's going to
Marketing
wear
or
to go to the
whatever.
movies
Yeah.
or something. And I'm sitting there like, but I really think that we should just like add a new soap. And she's like, well, I'm not going to do that
there.
right now.
We're not on the same
We're not there right
wavelength.
now. So and then I just write it down. I have a notebook that I walk around with all the time. So I write everything down on that. And so when it's, you know,
I
when
tell
we're
her
at
to
work
email
again,
me.
we'll talk about
I was
it
like,
then.
email
and
me
it goes,
this, 'cause
it goes
it's not
both
gonna
ways.
work.
So there are times when she wants to talk about something and I'm just like, my mind's not there right now. So let's not talk about
I think
And your
just-
mom,
Yeah.
my mom.
how does she navigate it?
She's patient.
She
she's
has
so
an insane
patient.
amount of patience.
And she's so supportive. So like whatever, my father has had some ideas in his life, and she's like, you know, that sounds like it may work. Let's try it. Like and that's the same way that she is with us. It's like, just try it. What's the worst that can happen? You're in the same place you are now.
She also has a crazy intuition that I think that's where we get it from. That helps a lot with our leadership because I call her like this witch because she just knows things. And she's just like, that doesn't feel right. Or something feels off about this person because we'll talk to her about business and she's like, just look at it again. And we look at it and you're like, you know what? You're right. Thank God we didn't do that business deal. And it comes out of nowhere because she's not even like in the office that day or anything. And I don't know, maybe it's when you also have kids because now my sister has that too.
Yeah. So Sarah, how do you balance being a CEO and also being a mother and a wife? Like how do you manage this?
I get a lot of help. My mom is very supportive. My husband is extremely supportive. But you just do it. Like you can't think. You just have to do it. I don't know. You can't think about how am I going to get this done or when am I going to have time for this. There are 24 hours in a day, every single day. You figure out the things that are going to be priority for you that day, and you just do it. And another thing that I really do is make time for, or be present in that time for what's happening. So if it's time to be with my son, like when I go to his soccer games or his soccer practices, with Micah, then I'm just watching that and like sending videos to my husband. I'm not like checking email or anything like that. When I'm at work though, I'm only at work, which my mom, I think, hates because she'll call me and it's like, oh, you know, Micah's not eating. I'm like, I'm not there. I cannot help you. You're going to have to figure it out, you know?
Okay.
She helps out a lot, yeah.
So, yeah, I have the ability to sort of tune things out and focus on what I'm doing at that time.
Hey.
Picoton helps. That's our other product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plug
That
totally. I use
Definitely
that.
helps with focus.
Okay. Well, we're going to need to know some more things. So, where can people go and pick up some products? Just real quick as we cut to a quick.
Yeah, definitely at our store on 4791 Broadway. That's up by Dykeman. And at our website, www.salud.bz.
Okay. Awesome. So, beautiful people, go out and get some rigatone.
Yeah,
Say it right?
Picoton, yeah.
Rigatone. Yeah, get some of that, you know, to get your focus on.
Hi, I'm Diane. I have a daughter, Nikki, and she's a senior at high school. She just got accepted for early decision into college. Prior to taking Kevin's program, we were pretty overwhelmed because her college debt after her merit scholarships looks like it's going to be about $150,000 in 4 years. Feeling pretty overwhelmed about that $150,000 potential debt, I decided to enroll in Kevin's debt-free College Academy full course program. And I have to say the value for the money for what we got out of the program was absolutely amazing. Kevin takes you step by step with many, many different tips and many different strategies for not only the student, but for us as parents, for our student, things that we can do to really help save money and prepare.
If you or your child are looking to save money on college costs, sign up for Debt Free College Academy today at debtfreecollegeacademy.com using coupon code FREECOLLEGE. Beautiful people, we are back. This is the Create Your Life series. I'm your host, Kevin Y. Brown, and we have the beautiful Perez sisters here from Salud. Hello, ladies. Glad to have you back.
Great to be here. It's been a really interesting conversation. So thank you.
No, thank you for being here. Before we left, you were talking about, you know, the family really pitching in and being a part of you guys' success. And of course, it's a family-run business. I have to ask, being that you grew up, you know, with Salud, you know, under your dad, under your mom, super supportive mom, very innovative father, and this is a health company. Do you guys have strict diets, or what kind of diets do you have?
So what I really like to focus on is reading labels and being aware of what I'm eating, and trying to eat, you know, whole foods. And by that, I mean like vegetables, fruits, but yeah, just focusing on ensuring that I know that I can pronounce everything on the label, and not saying that that I never do, because that wouldn't be true. You know, there are times that you do eat something that's not in that regimen, but that's really my greatest guideline. And I try not to eat meat that often. I eat more fish than anything else.
Okay. How about you, Hilda?
Pretty the same, because we also have lunch together every day.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty much the same.
So you are actually in the same office
I impose my
together.
dietary guidelines on her. Yeah.
She chose this. She wanted me to be in the same office when I came back.
Okay, right, because you spent some time away in the Bay Area,
Yes.
around my hometown, getting your MBA, correct?
Yeah, well, I got my Master's of Social Entrepreneurship in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there for 4 years, and I was working on my other company that I do, which is a digital marketing agency for social impact.
Called Savvy,
Yes,
correct?
Savvy Marketing.
And you have a few clients there, Savvy.
Yeah.
I was like perusing the website,
Yeah,
like
for
all
sure.
in your business. I'm
Cool.
like, what's your
That's the
LinkedIn?
point.
You know, like you
Yeah.
said earlier, you know, in order to be, you know, great, you have to do this research, you know, and understand people,
Absolutely.
you
You
know?
know what you're talking about. So we have a few clients there, and I started with 2 awesome business partners, Isabel and Diana, and that's what I was doing out in the Bay.
Okay. Are they still in the Bay, or are they back here? Or?
They're back in their home countries because they're international, which makes it really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So you guys are having like conference calls at really interesting times.
Yes, we have conference calls at different times, and we make excuses to visit each other often.
Right. And you're about to
do
yeah,
business
right.
trips. Yeah, I'm actually going to see one of my business partners in Portugal this week,
I'm so jealous.
which is really fun.
So jealous. Oh, that is awesome.
Create your life, man.
Right.
Told you.
Hey, that's the name of the game. So not only are you have like certain dietary things that you go by, but you also said something during the break that I thought was really interesting. You said that you also have strict makeup guidelines.
Yeah, a beauty
Not
regimen.
that either you need makeup,
Oh,
but
thank you.
Tell us about the makeup that you do use.
Yeah. Well, it's a strict beauty regimen.
Yeah, we use our own products actually. So we use our goat milk soap, which is a charcoal-based facial cleanser. And then during the day, I use a calcium and coral-based, a coral calcium and collagen-based facial moisturizer. And at night, I use a squalene and vitamin-based facial moisturizer, which is actually my grandmother's formula that we were able to create and mass produce. Yeah. So I've been using that. Well, we've been using that product homemade since
like super
we were
homemade
born.
with the coconut oil from the coconut.
Oh wow! So let me ask you this: what can I do as a guy? I don't
You
wear
can
makeup,
use those
so
products. It's
I
the
can
same
use
products. You can use them. Yeah, they're all natural, no preservatives, and they work well for.
Yeah. This
for
is
both.
pre-makeup, so you don't even have to.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
actual
So
makeup.
there's no makeup required.
So I can get your beauty regimen,
Of course.
Absolutely.
so I can
Yes.
walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glistening every day.
Oh,
It's
glistening.
like really good.
Listening on them. Okay. Well, during the break, we also had a caller who called in who didn't want to be on air, but definitely wanted to know where your store was, what the phone number was, and when they could drop in. And they said they were going to call you tomorrow, but for the rest of our listeners who didn't have the opportunity, can you please
Yeah,
say it
absolutely.
again?
So our store is on Broadway, 4791 Broadway, and that's uptown in Inwood, right?
Take the
a
A
block
train.
away from Dykeman. Yeah, you just take the A
Okay,
train
you
there
take the A train and which stop?
to the Dykeman stop.
Dykeman stop.
Okay.
And we're right up the block from that. So you can stop in anytime. We're open from 9 to 8. And you can call us at any time at 800-299-7917. And you can visit our website, www.salud.bc. We have a section there called
BC or BZ?
BZ, like zebra.
Okay.
And you can visit our website and communicate with us through the Ask the Nutritionist section. So you can post your questions there and we can answer immediately.
Speaking of asking questions, we have something in from one of our listeners. They want to know, can someone get holistic advice in products for illnesses such as cancer at Salud?
They can. It's something that is cancer is something that's very sensitive, So
Right.
we, as you mentioned, holistically, we look at it. We look at the organ that's affected, and we really just try to make it a cleaning and natural experience. And by that I mean is eating whole foods, changing somebody's diet, changing the teas that they drink, and ensuring that they are drinking teas, like from roots and things like
I've
that.
heard of the
Moringa
dandelion
tea
tea being really good for you.
Yes.
Dandelion's
Yeah,
really
so
good.
dandelion is something that we used to actually forage when we were younger.
Okay.
I
Because
would say
dandelion is
they made us
or
clean the
know
lawn.
so the dandelion is that weed really that
Right.
we see on the street
Yeah.
that's like little gold. So you see it everywhere. We used to forage that. So that you can get support with us.
It's part
along
of the
with your
overall-
allopathic treatment.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
along with the overall treatment because when it comes to those kinds of diseases and those things, since they are really sensitive, you want to be able to be as holistic, not just in the medicine, but in the approach of how you're dealing with it.
Correct.
Okay. So, quick question for you. Like, speaking of holistic medicine, I've heard of some other companies or multivitamin companies and people who do holistic healing. One of the biggest names that I've heard is Dr. Sebi. Not sure if you're
Zarbee's,
familiar.
yeah.
Okay. And he, apparently he had cured some people from cancer, from AIDS, and from herpes and some other things. Okay. What differentiates Salud from other people who are running businesses like Dr. Sebi's or who are other holistic doctors as well, or companies?
So I wouldn't say that there's really like a marked difference. I think that we're doing something and it's all a science, right? So I think that natural medicine is viewed as this exotic and it has to be different and it has to be specialized when it doesn't. So view natural medicine and naturopathy and homeopathy the same way you would view allopathic medicine, right? So that question to me sounds the same way as like, what's the difference between this primary care physician than from that primary care physician,
Right.
So yes, there's differences in the person's knowledge. There's difference in the person's expertise. There's difference in the person's history of being a doctor, right? Or where they're practicing. So someone practicing in Jacobi Medical Center may have more experience than someone practicing in rural area, right? Just because of exposure. So to us, we view naturopathy that way. It's just a whole field of medicine. Everyone has the same ability and access to this knowledge. We're just putting it out there. We're just bringing it into your homes and teaching people about it and bringing back the things that we were accustomed to in our culture, right? So home remedies is something that was standard. You know, just something as like a chicken soup, right? That's something that everybody knows. You makes chicken soup, right? So it's not normal chicken. You prefer to use hen, etc., right? But it's because there's something in the skin that's actually going to help boost your immune system. So all these folk tales and things that you've heard come from truth. So that's
okay. So essentially, it's proven. And that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Salud is you guys have proven solutions that help.
exactly.
Okay. So most vitamin companies have vitamins that are mainly for men. Then they have women. Then they have children. In addition to those, they have vitamins for specific items, right? Salud has a vast list of vitamins in multiple categories. And so how do you go about choosing what vitamins are essential for your market and those that you serve?
So really, it's not about the market. It's more about, like what you just said, about the disease that you're trying to support. So we do extensive research on the plants, on the herbs, and plants vary from the region that they're from. So in our títulos, the Simplosifida grifonia that we use, we actually get it from Africa, because if you get it from a different place in the world, it doesn't actually have the same effect, because plants are living organisms and they're affected by their surroundings, right? So it matters where you source these products from. So we just educate ourselves, and our father is also,
That's his job.
He's
learned it.
full of knowledge, and he helps with curating these products. But there isn't. I wouldn't say that it's something that we do for our market. We do treat largely the Latino market. That's mostly based because that's where our father started the company, but that does not mean that you would not benefit from trying one of our products.
And there are times we do like monitor trends, right? There are trends like all of a sudden moringa is really popular and we're trying to figure out why and seeing what's happening. And there are like times that if it's a trend and then I've tried it personally with another product and I saw that it was really great, I'll just like let her know, hey, this is really, it worked for me. Let's see if we can include it into our product and create a new product or enhance this other product that we might have.
Yeah, and something that I like that you said was the fact that, you guys started off primarily in the Latino market. But that doesn't mean, like, I don't know if you can put a label on the holistic market and say, hey, this is only for this group of people. And you said, that you've expounded. But your dad also has a radio show that he's been doing forever that is, like, really popular as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. On Univision Radio, he's been on air for 25 years.
Okay.
So sitting here is actually very bringing me back to my childhood, because the station used to be in New Jersey, and we used to have to drive out like 2 hours.
Wow.
And I would like be obsessed with going with him. I would fall asleep right here, and he was like kicking me because he didn't want to hear my snoring on air. So
His mics are sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. And him just waking up like super early to do, because his radio show is like at 5 a.m. And that's a lot of times when people are getting up to really early grind, right? Those are the people who are working, and that's who he's speaking to.
So
and that's still true. So he also, not only is he on the radio, but we also have a Spanish language TV segment that we do. And that segment's actually at 10 p.m.
Where is
this? On Super Canal Caribe. So it's a Dominican language channel, or Dominican channel. And that airs nationwide in Puerto Rico and in the Dominican Republic.
Okay. How's your dad's work ethic impacted you all? Do you feel?
Yeah. Wow. A lot.
Yeah. It's
and your
it's
day-to-day activities,
expected.
like what time do you? Oh, I like that. It's expected, but like what time do you wake up? Like how does your schedule kind of look?
Yours is different.
Well, for me,
Micah,
my son sort of pries my eyeballs up. No, I try to get up as early as possible.
Okay. Does that
although-
usually have a time?
Yeah, like I would say maybe anywhere between 6:30 and 7. But I got to be honest, that's really because Micah's awake, and you have to be responsible and be awake when a baby's awake, you know.
He's 3, right?
Yeah, he's 3
Yeah.
years old. So,
Busy fella.
but he's really taught us to just focus and get things done. That's something that he does not say no to any amount of work. Like when the TV segment came about, I spoke to him about it. I was like, that's like really late. You're gonna be on air between 10 and 11. That means you're not gonna get home till 12. You got to see.
Mind you, he
know,
works all day. So
Yeah, he sees
Sure.
clients. And on Saturday morning, he has his 5 a.m. show, and he's like, "Yeah, so I'll do
gotta
it."
work. Yeah, I think he loves it, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of it was
Yeah, you enjoy what you do.
we learn to love what we do. A lot of it,
Okay.
that hustle and that grind is because he never complained. It was never I don't want to do this. So I think that was one of those things, and he always taught us to love the work that we do in the sense of even if we wanted to be like a janitor, we were going to be the best janitor out there. So it's just love what you do, really.
What do you find to be the most challenging aspect of being in the C-suite? Just got to drop that one on you.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. Do you?
That the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
Ugh, I like that.
So you are responsible for
everyone,
all of your employees,
everything,
all
and
of
their
their families, all of the customers.
Yeah.
So every decision that you make weighs a lot
That's
on
hard.
everyone.
How do you step up to that plate on an everyday basis and make sure that you knock that out the park?
I mean, we talk to each other a lot.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I pray a lot. That's a big one, praying on it, just kind of really meditating on, like, does this make sense, and trying to be as knowledgeable as I can. And then going back to, like, if it's the wrong decision, it's okay to back out. Like, it won't be the end of the world if something happens. It'll be hard, but it's not the end.
Okay.
Exactly. And just do. Just get up every day. And someone asked me, what do I do? Because they were like a new business owner, and it's like, all of a sudden the thing that I wanted to work out this way is not working out that way. I'm like, it's part of the game. Like every single morning you wake up with at least 10 problems.
Yep.
Right.
Minimum.
Right.
Minimum 10
Before
problems.
And that's if you by yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so that's just part of the game. You just have to be a problem solver, figure it out, and keep moving. Like, don't dwell on the problem. Figure out how you're going to solve it.
Okay, so this is the question that I can't let you ladies leave the show without answering.
Oh, gosh.
Our listeners always want to know, what are 3 things that you would tell them to do to create their best lives? 3 from each of you, if we can.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do
Well,
that.
for me, be selfish. And by that, I mean make time for yourself. Don't get lost in if you're married or if you have a child or if you're working, and don't get lost in all of it and not have time for yourself. Do whatever, if it's whatever it can be, whether it's yoga, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, whatever it is that makes you happy, take that hour, take those 30 minutes or however long it takes you, and be selfish and do it. Run, exercise, whatever it is, find the time to be selfish and take care of yourself. Again, be a problem solver. I think that not dwelling on problems has been essential for me, because problems, like I said, come every single day in every way, shape, and form. And if you just sit there and think about the grandeur of this problem, you will drown in it. So just find ways to solve and recognize when you need help. So,
Now, once you recognize it, do you got to ask for it?
of course.
Okay. No, I
Of
mean,
course.
Yeah, it's true.
Of course, you got to
part of it.
you have to be able to
Action.
recognize when you need help and be able to, obviously ask someone who is in that position to be able to give you help, right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Those are really good. Dang, why'd you do that? Like the mental health part is huge. And I think to create your best life, I would say really like finding what you, taking time to, in that selfishness, what you're passionate about, right? Because that's the only reason you're even going to get up in the morning for yourself and for others. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, how in the hell are you going to do it for like 10 other employees that they don't have skin in the game to an extent? So you have to really understand what you're passionate about, and that may take time, and owning that passion. If you're passionate about doing something that might look small to the rest of the world, even though you might have this really fancy college degree, that doesn't matter. Not worrying about what other people think has been a really big part of my journey. And kind of just saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. And if it goes wrong, then it's okay. And then I think from creating your best life and all of that is knowing that if you're lucky enough to have a support system, use them, because that's part of it. You can't take those risks. Like I said, I know that it's going to be okay, because the worst case scenario, I end up in my parents' house and they're feeding me. You know, like something like that. It's not going to be terrible, right? Which not a lot of people might not have, but if you can create that support system, and finding those people that are that support system has to be part of it. You have to have friends and family, colleagues, people that you talk to about everything that isn't business related and also just personal. I think that's part of it. I think that was 3. It kind of went into a paragraph.
Hey, but you know what though? I feel like those are things that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely happy that you were willing to share it that much.
For sure.
So how, I know you said it a couple times, but how can people stay in contact with y'all, your social media, for your personal, also for Salud? And, you know, tell us the store and give us that phone number one more time.
All right. So the store, again, is on Broadway, 4791 Broadway in Inwood. You take the A train to Dykeman, or call us at 800-299-7917. And you can follow me on Instagram at Sarah Perez Jarrett.
Yeah, mine's at It's Hilda P. Again, it's a joke because that's when Twitter was cool, so you have to get the shortest little handle possible. But yeah, follow us there. We have our Salud one was at Salud by Dr. Rigo.
Correct.
And then on Facebook.
Okay. Well, awesome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
So happy and looking forward to us working together.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, beautiful people, you had the opportunity to hear from the Perez sisters. And what I want to say to you is go to the website, CYLSeries.com, and sign up for our for our monthly newsletter and also for our updates. We have some amazing things coming, and also a 30-day goals challenge group that will be coming to you really soon. So keep building, keep growing. And as you always know, we're here to create our lives and make great things happen. And we will talk to you next week. Beautiful people, if you enjoyed this episode of the Create Your Life series, be sure to download it from our podcast, which is available on createyourlifeseries.com, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Music. Also, be sure to leave a review of the podcast. You can catch us live on Sundays from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via 90.3 FM in New York, or on Facebook Live at facebook.com/KevBrown1. We encourage you to participate in the conversation on Facebook or call in at 212-650-6903. Follow us on Instagram at CYL Series and at Kevin Y. Brown. Be blessed, and we'll see you back here live next week.
Create your life.
Crée ta propre vie.
Create your life.
创造你的生活。
Create your life.
Crea la tua vita.
Create your life.
Ontdek jou lewe.
You better create your life.
Create your life.
Create
Create your life.
your life.